and welcome to another video from Lady on the Vlogs. So it's now bleeding 8:15. I haven't had my breakfast yet. It's 8:15 in the AM and it is Monday the 17th of April. So yeah, I know I should be showing you my post, but this is a personal sale. Obviously part of my brother's vinyl collection, which has been slowly selling. It's very slow to sell. Now the stuff I've got left is on auction. So I'm just putting the label on this. I only have 6 orders on my business account because I don't think that eBay likes me anymore because I went and got myself a job, so I'm not putting in the work that I used to do. So it's obviously like compares me to my old algorithm and punishes me for not being like my old algorithm. So I don't know how long it's going to take for that to balance out. I really don't know. I know that there's lots of people who do hold down a job and, you know, resellers. And I do think that I'm in like the ideal job because obviously it's, you know, I can source either side of work. Anyway, so that's that one done. Just a vinyl. Only $4.99 for that. So I've got to be quick because I haven't even had my breakfast. I've been fiddle-arsing around this morning. My husband freaked me out this morning because he said he'd lost his wallet. So we've had to turn over the apartment, and then it turned out it was exactly where it was because I was like, I went to where he usually has it, and I said, so take it, this is your old wallet. No, that's my wallet. So that was fun. At 10 to 7. Everything is clean in here because I did mop and hoover yesterday, although it doesn't look great now. Because everything's been sort of turned over since, like, things in random places. I have got a lot to do this week because obviously my eBay account is almost dead. This is a pair of chinos, which I don't seem to be able to get any more of anymore, so this is very annoying. I know that this one has been returned a number of times, and it does actually look quite mucky now I'm looking at it. I feel like this one's going to come back. This colouring is like blue-black, and it's got a little repair on it, and I know that people don't read. It's $14.99, but I've sold that for... I usually sell them for $25. They are factory seconds. The website actually sells them for around $100, and I think that's probably why I can't get hold of them anymore, because I think they realised that because they've released a load of their factory second stuff on a quarterly basis, they've tanked their sale. They've tanked their sales on their own website. So I think I can kiss goodbye to that, which was an absolute money spinner, but there you go. So anyway, other things that I've sold this dress. A lot of interest in this, actually. It's a wrap dress by And Other Stories. And can I for the life of me remember what I've sold it for? I think I've sent, in desperation this week, sent an offer of $17.99, even though I probably could have got more. I am not getting the sales. I'm really hacked off about it. Yeah. This has gone for 20, like $19.99. This has kicked around for ages. It might be because it's like a lightweight jumper, so obviously it would sell for spring. It's got these sort of tied cuffs, which I need to untie to go in the post. Bowden. Yeah, I mean, it's okay, isn't it? I mean, that's an okay sale. They're all okay sales. I know that I haven't run a coupon for ages, so I'm not doing myself any favours. you know, and I should do these things because obviously, you know, that's one of the benefits of having a business account is that you can run a coupon. You can't run a coupon on a what's it called, a private account, which everybody seems to be like running their business on. All Saints, I say that, I mean, I didn't believe it so much before, but I have got chatting to multiple people who obviously resell, who go into the charity shop, because, you know, I just sort of like, I sort of wanted to put the feelers out with them and, you know, possibly like invite some of them to the reseller meetup. None of them are business, none of them seem to file the taxes. So, you know, anyway, this is All Saints. It's merino wool. It's a cardigan. It's very draped. It doesn't really look like much, and it's going to be a real arse for me to now fold it up. But I haven't had my breakfast yet, and I'm like hankering for my breakfast now. No, that's fluff. I thought it had dirt on it. Then poly bag. So that's gone for 25. I had it on for 35, which is probably feasible, but I'm desperate, so let that one go. And then this, which I've only listed at the weekend. I think I only listed it on Saturday. So that is the Fred Perry with Bella Freud. Yes. People were getting £40 for these new with tags. So I'd put mine on for 40. I just thought, well, I'll just leave it at the 40 mark, because if I run a bleeding coupon, that's the thing. It's like the new items, they end up taking a hit, don't they? And it's the new items which are going to sell. So anyway, somebody sent me an offer last night of 35, and the desperation was still there, so I took that. Yeah, and that's more or less it. I do have another little sale sat behind me. Why has this got fluff on it now? Yeah, so I was wondering if I could get it in there, but, you know, let's face it, somebody's paid £35 for this. Let's put it in a normal jiffy poly. So the other thing that I've sold is this, which has only gone for £1.99. I've got a ton of these and they just aren't selling. I'm going to send them more than one, because this is like a Lego piece, and although it's not the blue stuff, which is brittle, they do break, so I'm going to send them multiple pieces of it, and then they'll probably think it's a mistake, so I don't know. I just want rid of them. I've got too many of them. For some reason, I had a job lot which came through, and it literally had about 50 of these damn links in it, and I'm sick of the sight of them. So I don't care if I sell them for less. So I'm going to put, with my Lego, I always send it sandwiched in between card, because you just don't know what the hell goes on in the postal service. And it's just, I think it's better sometimes than bubble wrap. So all of that will fit in there. So I only need to like cut that in half, and then I need to get my breakfast. The only annoying thing is I thought I could jam all that in a locker at work, and that would be fine. But for the fact that I now have that, and that will not fit in a locker at work, and it's now really pressing on, so I need to like get the hell out of here, because I need to leave in like 20 minutes. So yeah, I think this is the thing, is that sometimes when I get into doing too many jobs in the morning, it's a bit of a kiss of death, because I've got to obviously get these printed off and get them ready. I don't know if I'm going to be, I just want to drop it off on the way back. Yeah, I'll work something out. I don't know. It's just this is not big. This is too big for the lockers, because the lockers are only that wide, so I can't get that in the locker. Yeah, I have trust issues. I like to lock things away. I don't have the car either. Right, okay, right, I have to crack on because I'm running out of time to get out of here today. So I will be back shortly unless less rushed. Hello, so it is now Wednesday the 19th. So I've just pulled my stock out from here. So this is my storeroom. Which we are going to talk about, and this is going to be my mission. And because I've just pulled my stock out, I've kicked up some dust, so I have blown my nose because sniffing on vlog videos is a big no-no. Some of you will know what I'm talking about. So I've only got 3 things here. I am going to shoot out to the post office. These are my duffy bags. So this room is chaos. So much so that there's part of me that thinks that I haven't got stock to list. You know, like enough stock to manage doing 10 listings a day. But I bloody well have, because this is chaos in here. I do have like personal stuff that needs sorting. You see, like, I can't even get... This is supposed to go in here, and it doesn't. And everything is just falling. You can't even see what I'm doing. I have like a nice... When everything's good, it's good, but it's not. So I've just pulled some stuff out, which was trousers, which is in here. So there's men's trousers is in this. Oh, all you can see is boobs. So men's trousers is here. Women's trousers is in here. And then I've got the chinos, which literally... can go in there now. So my mission was to kind of get empty boxes, which I did, and I knew that I had 2 empty boxes already, you know, hence like empty boxes, they're definitely there. And then I lifted this one off and I was like, oh, this says overflow knitwear, and I was like, why have I got overflow knitwear coming into spring? This is all new stock, which I'd forgotten about. I'd obviously like put it on my spreadsheet and just thrown it in here. And I think there was something in the back of my mind where I was thinking about something. But this is all overflow knitwear. I mean, no, it's not all overflow knitwear. This is all just stock. So obviously it's not knitwear because this is short. There's stuff in here. I don't know if, I can't even remember if this has been on a haul video. Yes, this was it, because I kept thinking about this, because I kept thinking, I wish I hadn't bought that People Tree organic cotton dress, because they don't sell, and I'm pretty sure that this was something that was in the charity shop last year that I didn't buy, and then I bought it, and then I was like, I don't remember photographing it, so it's here. So I literally can't remember if this has been in a haul video or not. But it feels like not. What have I got here? Most of this is summer wear. That's a fat-faced pair of leggings. That looks like a fat-faced pair of leggings that should be in my world, because a lot of my joggers are just useless, and there's a pair of brand new with tags white stuff thing there. So I've got that stock to do. I have this, which is so heavy I can't even lift it. So I've got I know that that's new stock. I've got stuff which I was intending to list, but when I got it on the ironing board, had stains on it, so that's been done. And then of course I've got flipping Lego. My whole goal when I started work was that I would, because I was working in a charity shop, I would just cream off, you know, the designer stuff which I saw, the higher end stuff, and just pop that in my shop and try and cut down on how much I had in here, and then concentrate on doing vintage Lego. Evidently I've just been sort of like getting clothes, failing with my listing goals and yeah, basically just failing with reselling and just being really tired. I am really tired today. Today is Wednesday. It is my day off. I'm in for the rest of the flipping week. I'm working Sunday as well. So it's today or nothing. But I'm really stressed out with this room because it's chaos in here. I have sort of like sold through things, you know, as would be the case if I've got this empty box here. But I've got so much that I've got to do in here because it's just piled high with stuff. That game there is my brother's old game. I'd loathe to get rid of that. This is stock, which you can see is just piled over. That's in there. I think I've got loads of stuff that was sent to me in error by Royal Mail, who didn't send me. My friend posted Christmas presents to me, and some arsehole at the sorting office peeled the label off and stuck it on somebody's Shein parcel. So I've got loads of Shein stuff. I asked them to come and get it back in December the 15th or whenever it was, and they never came. So now I've got all this Shein stuff which I just don't know what to do. So it's possible that I probably just need to like donate it, or, you know. And then you're talking about redonation, there's stuff that's in these boxes which does need redonating. And then I need to get on with Lego. And I mean, this corner, I mean, I was looking at what books I had to make bundles, and in the process of doing that I've caused this chaos. So now there's like piles of bubble wrap, and this corner here looks terrible. Penguins stood there. So this room is winding me up. I'm going to have to tackle it in little sections. The little sections which I'm going to tackle in, I have got some stuff which I've taken out, which is literally in the next room where I do my photographs. So I'll probably be doing that. I have job lots of Lego. You see, I think that's another one of my empty boxes there, box of stock that I'd emptied. But that's all got Lego in it, which I'd sort of like half sorted, and then I just didn't finish sorting it. I even started doing a YouTube video of that and never finished it. So I've like got most of a YouTube video, but I just wasn't happy with the outcome of the sets that I had in it. And I was like, are people that interested in 70s Lego? And I know that the little set that I was hoping to get £100 out of, I just didn't have enough bricks for it, and I was so hacked off. But the thing is that the video specifically had one set in there, which it was one job. The video ended up covering like 2 job lots of Lego that I had, but one job lot I'd paid 20 for, and I got a set out of it which I ended up selling for £80. I smashed the ceiling price, the UK ceiling price for it. Because let's face it, when it comes to selling vintage Lego, or any Lego, or let's face it, clothing, there's some things where you look at the prices that they get in the US and you just think, why can't I achieve this? Why can't I achieve that? And that is one of the reasons why I do my own postage costs rather than using GPS. I know everybody like creams themselves solid about GSP, but I don't. I just think, what is the point in it spending another 2 or 3 days in this country, sort of going round to wherever it is in Stafford. I've worked in Stafford. Those people, they're not the brainiest folk. Why would I want it to spend another, an extra 3 days spinning around the UK when I could just get it in the post and it'll be there quite quickly, probably quicker than half the stuff I send in the UK. So, yeah, one of the reasons I offer my own postage is to try and get those markets by being able to offer slightly cheaper postage. But let's face it, with the increases, most of it's had to go up about £5 that I've had to charge for my overseas postage. So Lord only knows what GSP is actually charging people. Anyway, so stuff I've got to post. I've got this pair of chinos. just from the stock of stuff which I had knocking around. This, which I've only just listed, I think I listed this at the weekend. No, I didn't. I listed it on Monday. I listed this on Monday, so that was quite quick. I competitively priced it. It was called the Cindy dress. I didn't think it was a dress because it was size 20. So that was Hobbs. It was still on their website. However, the reason I hadn't listed it and it kicked around for a bit is because I had to do a seam repair, and I'm not all that happy with my seam repair. It feels like there's another bit of seam that's coming undone there. So it's not great. So somebody offered me £20 and I took it because I'm not happy with the fact that I've had to do a repair on. It's only under the armpit, but it's enough to irritate me. And anyway, I've paid £3 for that, so it doesn't matter. And then these, which have kicked around for ages. Bowden. Crop lengths. It's almost like a snowflake or a daisy. So what did they go for? £20. So yeah, and I'm not in a great financial situation at all at the moment. Honestly, I just thought that everything would work out slightly better by going back to work, and it's not, because I never realised that I was actually putting in proper hours doing reselling. I always thought I was a bit flaky, you know, that I was like fiddling around and, you know, not doing enough. But I really was. You know, Lego is very time consuming to do, but it is lucrative. But I've barely found the time to do that. And then I've also realised that a lot of the time when I find a job lot that I want to bid on, you know, that's like hard work trying to find the stuff which I want to bid on, because I don't want the modern stuff, I want the older stuff. So when I find those job lots, I find that there's a lot of people who are in competition with you, who are generally prepared to pay more than I am. So that's been a frustration. So I've kind of vowed that I need to make sure that I'm giving myself a half an hour to an hour just checking listings and what's ending that day, you know, and what may have been newly listed, and try and keep up with the sourcing of Lego to try and remove the fact that I keep picking up flipping clothes because it's easy, because it's not really what I wanted from going back to work, and I certainly didn't want to be shattered. I kind of wanted to get this to a point where it was like a little bit more tidy in here, and that I could put the Lego in here, sort of in drawers and the rest of it, but that hasn't happened. So, you know, it's very overwhelming. I feel like I should like sit down and journal it, but you know, I don't know what the plan is. All I know is that my plan for today is I'm going to go to the post office. I may well stick my nose in that charity shop that is on the walk there, which I probably shouldn't do. I may well go to the Polish shop and just have a gander in there and maybe get some scran, which I don't need. But that might be for lunch. But anyway, I'm going to do that. I need to pull out, before I can eat, as much as I'd like to launch into doing Lego sorting, because this is all Lego. Even that is Lego. It's ridiculous. That's clothes. Two things there are clothes, and obviously I've got this big bloody box that I've just shown you here, which is clothes. So I am going to have to pull out the clothes today, probably shoot a haul video and try and get them photographed. That's the only mission that I can really do feasibly. And the good thing about that is then if I've got a pile of clothes which is photographed ready, then that's what I can do when I you know, if I'm working of an afternoon, I can do some listing in the morning, and if I come back from work, I usually can end up doing an hour or two listing. I was scheduled, that's not happened now. That's all disappeared. Yesterday when I came in from work after doing my post and the rest of it, I listed 5 things, but that's not like, that's not very good, is it? It's not getting me scheduled ahead. And you see, I'm beating myself up, but I also came in and I photographed 6 items as well. So I can't beat myself up too much. But generally I have been listing stuff that's ready. Anyway, I'm going to go deal with these, come back and try and sort through all of this. So I've got that. Oh, unbelievable. Oh, I've got that. This is this flipping Shein stuff. This is all the Shein stuff. I just don't know what to do with it. And then obviously I've got that. So this is an awful lot of clothing stock for somebody who is trying to stop selling clothing. And I've just ripped this box. Yeah, so obviously I need to do this. Is this all new stock? Can't remember. Some of it's laundered. It's like that was in a haul and that needed laundering, so that got laundered. It's going to be quite hard for me to even do a haul video because I don't even know what I haven't done a haul video on, what I have. So that's my quest. Let's see where I get to. This is actually a solution to my woes, which would be this. So this is my apartment block here, and this at the bottom here is actually a storage unit with containers. So I mean, you couldn't really get much more convenient than that. I don't trust that wouldn't be damp. So that storage company's always been at the end of my road. It's just that they've, for some reason, bought this like little bit of land here next to the car wash and put this in this self-store thing. I know it's all container units because I've watched them put them in, but yeah. I hear the alarms going off at night, you know, and there's literally nobody around, so I know that it's not secure. Yeah, so that's it there. Anyway, post. Possibly charity shop, possibly snack shopping. Right, I am back. The windswept look is still on. I don't know why it's so bloody windy. I mean, I know I'm high up, but come on. So this coffee is too hot to drink, but I really need a coffee. So yeah, I haven't bought anything from the Polish shop, and I never will again. I will walk up to the other one where they're nice, but I will not go into Polski Sklep again, because the guy yelled at me. So I took some photos, not videos, photos of the bread display. And he came up and started shouting at me because I'd taken some photos of the bread and some of the coleslaws. You know, which is, I don't even think that it's like weird to even do that, because it's in a language that most people in this country, which is not Poland, it is England, don't speak. So, you know, it might be the case that maybe I'm not interested in buying it at another time, but I want to translate it on the internet because they're not exactly very helpful in that shop. The other Polish shop is really nice. They're more like Armenian, and they're like generally like everywhere. But you know, they've been funny with me and before in that shop, because I've been wandering around sort of like looking at things, you know, wondering what the fuck they were. But today he came up and he like treated me, he was like a cop, wanted me to delete the photos I'd taken. So obviously they've got something to hide. Their hygiene standards are obviously rock bottom. I've always thought that it's not very hygienic, this bread display anyway, but I like the bread in there. So, and I like the chocolate bread that they do in there, and I like all the snacks they've got in there. But you know, so now I've saved on the calories, and I will never shop in, I will never go in there now. I'll never waste any more time walking around that shop, browsing anything. I won't be buying in there because I just walked out because they were really quite off and nasty. And the charity shop was garbage as well. But I did run into my neighbour. Thankfully, also feeling very chatty because I normally end up wasting 20 minutes talking to him. So I have my clothing stock, which I've got out. So I've literally got like 3 boxes of stuff here, which I've got to photograph. So I'm going to get myself to like a point of overwhelm if I'm not careful. I've also got some clothing on the chair there, which needs putting on my list. And I've got all this bric-a-brac here, which I've got out, just little bits. I'm going to do them first. And I've got a few pairs of jeans and the stuff which I photographed yesterday, which I'm going to list probably before I start taking photos. This is probably the stuff which I've got out, the clothing which I've got out, which is sort of here. I mean, not this, because this has got a very weird stain on it, which I can't get out. If anybody has any ideas on how to get an adhesive stain out, I've been at this point before. There it is, I've got the peg on it. It's like an adhesive stain. So if you can see it, it's like, it looks like a sort of like fabric run, but it isn't. It's like glue and it's sticky. I've had something before where I actually had super glue that was on something, and I did kind of manage to get it out and then declared it and put it on auction, and it did sell for like £15 because it was a Patagonia t-shirt. But this is a Joe Brown's dress, but this is really annoying, and it's tacky. It's been through the wash once and it's literally done nothing for it. I thought I got it out because I thought it was further up the dress, but it's a bit further down. And I don't even understand. I mean, I suppose somebody has obviously, they've probably got a kitchen that's like mine, because having just made this cup of coffee, I've noticed that the lacquer is sort of like peeling off my doors. So I've either got to like peel it off and put new lacquer on that I like, or get a new kitchen. It's probably gonna, you know, I mean, we could do with a new kitchen, we could do with 2 new bathrooms. We've known this since 2016, but hell, I'm literally not on my feet with that. But so it's obviously like somebody like that who's worn this dress and then they've been up against something which is sticky, which is adhered to the dress. So if anybody's got any grand ideas about how to get that out, because I sprayed it with the Vanish, and I put the Vanish stuff on it, and I put the spray on it, the elbow grease and the shout spray, but it's not even touched it. So I know that I'm still going to have a box of like stupid things that need doing even when I've done this. But anyway, for the sake of not getting overwhelmed, I'm going to work on this bric-a-brac here, which is like things, you know, and I know that that was in a previous thing because somebody told me that it was a baby bag, which I had no idea, because babies are awful. Working in a shop has really helped me confirm that children are absolutely horrendous, and why would you want them? They just scream all the time. I mean, I say that, but I'm really not nice with them. I play with them at the till sometimes if they've got a toy. You know, I'm not a bitter witch. It's just, you know, they can leave the area at a certain point, and the noise can, my ears can like come back to reality when the child is removed from the situation. And let's face it, I'm more of a kid myself. I mean, no, let's not talk about this. Anyway. These little bits, I'm going to do these. I'm going to film a haul video, and then I'm going to list those things, and then I will start ironing this. I will not commit to photographing today. There's a, you know, because let's face it, I can come back tomorrow after work. It will be like 3 o'clock, 3:30 by the time I start, but it's not like I have to think about the winter months now, because it is light in the afternoon to photograph. It was light enough yesterday for me to photograph 6 things, so I can just start the photographing chore then. So that is the mission. Yeah, right, let's see where we get on with. I won't upload this video yet. I just, you know, why do people have to annoy me? I mean, I think the thing that got me is being in cancer research. Now, the amount of TikToks that I've seen being filmed and the amount of TikToks that I've seen myself, not TikToks, like reels on Instagram, because I'm not a TikTok person. That's a rabbit hole that one doesn't need to waste time with. But I think I have seen loads of reels that feature the cancer research shop that I work in on Instagram. Can you imagine if we had that bitter attitude and drove away our customers who are essentially advertising for people to come to the shop? You know, I'm not saying that all of you lot would have run to Polska Slep, but all advertising is good advertising unless he knows full well that as far as his hygiene standards are concerned, there's probably a lot of flags in that place. But yeah, I'm not going in there again. It's really irritating me. So I'm going to see where I get anyway today. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, it is Monday morning. It's after 8. Well, it's 8:15. I've got stuff I've got to like sort out for the post, which I should have done last night, but I was at work and then I came back and then I started washing Lego, which I promise you I have started on things which should probably relax doing. I'm going to show you this one first. I've just put my makeup on, so let's check I haven't got foundation on my fingers, because that's a liability. So I went and did a run of postage stuff as well on Saturday, because I had stuff that I just didn't want to have like a load, and then there's a good chance that when I walk to work, because I'm going to work for 9:30, so I can get to a post office for just after 9, but there's often a good chance that they haven't set up, so I can't drop my stuff off and I don't want too much at work. So I have sold this. This is going to Switzerland. Yes, Switzerland. Fred Perry, Margaret Howell, they sent me an offer of £40, which I took, in light of the fact that I could see that it did say CH on it, and I was like, well, I'm sure that that's overseas. So I'm going to put that away in the poly bag before it collects dirt. So I have done what I was supposed to be doing last week, in that I have photographed stuff. I just ended up feeling a little bit rough at one point last week. Like, I continued going to work, but I wasn't feeling very well again. And it's always something viral, but my body seems to like tackle it, and I don't have to stop. But I do feel quite ill. I felt sick last week for 2 days. But I've still pressed on with things, and I think I probably should have like just stopped and rested instead of like doing work and then coming back here and then doing my work here. But so I've like definitely burnt candles at both ends. This has sold for I think £17.99. Somebody sent me an offer for it, so I'm not sure. It's fat face. It's a larger size. It's 18. Various watches on that. Let me think. Was it? I can't think now. I think they sent. I counted and something like £15.99, and then they sent me an offer of 16, and I was like, that's the same price. There's something odd about it, but I was just happy to take it. I did think that would go large letter, but it won't. And now I don't think I've got enough Jiffy is what I've got. And then I have sold this Cyberdog t-shirt. This person sent me an offer of 15. I had it up for 25 and counted at $19.99, and they took it for that £20. Cyberdog, like Day of the Dead Mexican thing. So that's remaining in England. I've had I've had 2. I don't know, what is it with, sometimes you just over exaggerate things for no reason, don't you? Let's see if I can make this one large letter. Which is probably a bit naughty of me, because it is an XL t-shirt. just, yeah, I think we can get away with that. I'll seal it down. I try not to seal my stuff down until I'm like putting the labels on, so that I know that I don't mess it up. So then I've got 2 Lego sets. This one is sold overnight to Australia. So what have I got here? I have a little box here. Because I have been going to a different post office, I'm like really short on these boxes. So these are they used to save me these boxes. But because I'm not going to that post office too much now, I'm hoping that that's big enough. I literally am running out of time to do this morning because I'm running out of time. And I've got another one there, a Haribo one. This is another Lego set. This is the taxi rank. This taxi bleeding rank. There's one minor substitution in there, in that it's got the correct door that goes with it. I'm trying to see if I've got one of these random doors just sat over there in my pile. So the door, I think that door, instead of it having yellow glass, is supposed to be blue glass, which I could probably put in now. Door blue, not yellow. Oh no, so it sounds like I have substituted it and put the correct door in now. So they've got, oh yeah, so I've put the correct door in there, so I must have just flung that in at some point. So that was the original door that I put in. See, this isn't even an inclusion. So that was the original door that I put in. And it was obviously supposed to look like that one because that's not in the main bag. So I just flung that in at a later stage. I have sold this literally about 5 times without payment. So it's very, very annoying. Very annoying. I don't even know why. So this is probably a little bit big, this box, but I don't have the time to faff around because I've literally got to get to the post office and I've got to get to work. Well, I've got to pack all this stuff up first, haven't I? So yeah, it's not the best situation to be in. Yeah, it's like rattling around in there. Fortunately, when I ordered my last job lot of Lego, I ended up with all of these, so you know. Anyway, yeah. So I'm going to go to work. I'll be back here like after 3 or something like that, and I've got stuff that's ready to list. I didn't list anything yesterday. I'm not ahead yet in any way with my listing. I keep listing stuff and then it all just goes to pot. I just cannot get ahead. So my theory is that as long as I've got stuff there piled up ready for me to put on, then that's the position, that's the only position that I can be in. I've got to break this Lego set up. I'm now regretting not doing this before. I should have done this last night. It's just, when you're tired, you just suddenly like now I've got to just give in. Or I'm trying to get more done than I have been doing, but it is tiring me out. But what can you do? There's no real solution for it, because if I stop, then I don't get anything done, and it's an even worse situation because then I'm like worrying about money. So anyway, there's a lot of faded pieces in this. I hope this is going to be okay. They've only paid £20. It's just when somebody pays something for overseas, it's all that postage. Still got a fair bit there to break up. Don't really want it all connected if it's going overseas. It's like that part that's renowned for breaking a lot. So anyway, yeah, I've got to pack all this up and I've got to shoot off, and I've hardly got any time. I mean, I am ready, but it's just everything is time restrained. Oh, and yeah, and my printer broke this week. It's not broken because it has the paper feed has stopped working. It had like a paper jam in it, and I thought, oh, it'd be very similar to my old one which it was, but then when I put it back together, well, no, it wasn't. It was similar, but more convoluted than the old printer. In that you take the bit out of the back and you take the paper out, but for some reason you have to, there's some kind of pinpoint accuracy that it has to go back in, and I haven't got that quite right, and now it won't pick up the paper from the bottom section, and I'd rather be using that because now I've got the top feed open, which just means that it's going to get more dust in there, and I don't like the idea of it getting more dust in there. But anyway, that happened to me again when I was like doing my post at like 8 in the morning. Really annoying. Really annoying. Anyway, I'll be back later. I need to crack on. My way down to the post office now. This is like one of the only quiet roads. I haven't been able to do the Australian one. There's something wrong with the address. But thankfully they paid for that in the early hours of this morning. So I should better sort that out. I don't want to like rush it and then make a mistake. And because at eBay, you can't now go onto the order page and just copy the address over in one fell swoop without it messing it up. And this other airmail one, there's no IMS number on it. So I'm just like, I'm not even sure about that one. Anyway. Monday, isn't it? So you have to like be in a flap on a Monday. Okay, so it is Tuesday morning. Is it Tuesday? For some reason I think it was like Wednesday or something. So I think it's, I should know because I've just been updating my spreadsheet with dates, but I've been having to go back. So when I say updating my spreadsheet, I've been putting in the stuff that I've purchased in the last few days. So it's the 25th. So I've been putting what I've purchased for the last few days, which is only like Friday, Sunday and Monday. There's 24 items in the end, which is actually quite a lot. So I've got day off today and I have just been chilling. Naturally, I've done my hair. I knew that I was going to like have a relaxed morning and try and sleep in, because I know that I've been a bit run down because I was definitely ill. What days was I working? Thursday I felt like awful. Yeah, I felt really sick on Thursday. Like physically sick and just generally run down like I had a virus. So I was I know that I've sort of like been fighting something off, so I know that I was knackered, and I just thought, you know, I've got these 2 days coming up because I'm off tomorrow as well, and I just thought I'm just gonna like relax and sleep. So somebody started moving out of their apartment this morning with a van outside my window at 6:30 a.m. Well, it was more like 6 a.m. because my husband was up and he came in the bedroom and closed the window because he could hear them himself, and he was in here because the bedrooms are like down that end. So that didn't really go that well. So I did go back to sleep, but then naturally the bin men came. The bin men come on Wednesdays and Fridays, so naturally they came today on Tuesday. And then somebody had a refrigerator delivered and a washing machine disposed of. So that kind of like blew out of the water the idea that I might like sleep in and try and rid myself of whatever it was that I might have been fighting off. So there we go. And then I have this parcel here which I've got to do. This is the one to Australia, which I packed up yesterday morning. And, you know, I didn't have that much time. It was not like I was cutting it fine. I had plenty of time to do my parcels. But for some reason, it would not recognise this address, and it didn't matter what I deleted out of it. And even though I've deleted a comment out of it, it still put it back in on the address. I don't understand how it's done that. It let me print the label off this morning because it's let me do one, because I was like, well, I'll just leave that because it was paid in like the early hours of Monday morning, so I didn't technically have to post it today. But frustratingly now, this is my only parcel, so I've now got to go out for one parcel. I do have to go and get my prescription though, so I'm going that way. So it's late. It is late. It's gone 1. My clock is at an angle. I am just going to do some listing today because that's all photographed ready. And I have this Lego. So that's washed and it's just sat there drying out. It'll still be wet sort of at the bottom, but you can never like dry it that much, even though I sort of like raise it a little bit. But I do need to crack on with that because I haven't put anything to protect the floor, which I normally do. So I am going to just sit and I'm going to do that. This is going to be a very positive thing because I know that I've got a couple of £50 sets in there and potentially a £150 set, because I've seen the rare minifigure which I need, and I do have the raised base plate because I've got it on my spares. It's just something that I haven't been able to do. That's the Eldorado Castle from early 90s, rare pirates, definitely 150. And yeah, we'll probably send it somewhere like Australia. And then the other frustrating thing is I'm gonna have to buy myself a new phone. So I'm recording on my phone. So this is, I mean, I have a Samsung S8. The S8 is actually like 7 to 8 years old. So yeah, I probably deserve to get myself a new phone. However, yeah, on Sunday, we did have this government thing, which didn't work for a load of phones. I don't know if it worked for my phone or not, because when I go to work, generally I turn my phone off and I put it in my locker, which is what I did. Only half of the phones went off in the shop. There wasn't like an explosive amount of noise, and they were all tiered. Some people were just before 3 o'clock and some people were just after 3 o'clock. Nobody seemed to get it out 3 o'clock. So I know what the noise sounds like because I heard it on other people's, but mine was turned off. But then on sort of Sunday night into Monday morning, my phone did an update in regards to time zones, and it said that I had to restart my phone, which I didn't do. And then when I walked to work, it turned on the Google Voice Assistant, and she kept announcing the time. She does this sometimes where she announces the time every 1 minute or so. So I had to restart my phone because it just forced this app on and I couldn't get it to turn off. So I restarted my phone, and when I got to work, my phone was on 50% battery. So I looked at my phone usage and it was all something to do with like systems and the rest of it. It wasn't any of the apps I'd used, even though I'd done a video on here. It just drained the battery. So in less than 2 hours since its last full charge, I was on 50% battery. And I was like, fucking hell, what the hell? So obviously because I was at work and I was just like, well, I'm at work now. Turn my phone off like I usually do, put it in the locker. So my phone was turned off in my locker. I finished work, went to turn my phone on. Well, I turned my phone on and it was on 20% battery. So in its turned off state, it had lost another 30% of battery power. So now I have a problem with this phone. And I know it probably sounds like I knew that it was like on the way out because I've like turned my phone off. I just turned my phone off because I don't want my colleagues hearing loads of eBay notifications in my locker. I just turn it off. So I now don't know what's wrong with my phone. It's had an update and now it's like losing charge. So it's almost like there's something that's been put on my phone after this government update. So yeah, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed about that, and I just, it's just, I don't actually care. I'm not like Tin Hat and the rest of it. I don't want to have these updates. I don't mind if I have these updates. I do mind if I charge my phone overnight and then it doesn't last for the day. That's going to really, really annoy me. But obviously I do have an 8-year-old phone. And then there's another weird thing is that last night I put my phone on to charge, and it wouldn't charge. So I went to get my phone this morning and it turned off, and I said that I could see that the red light was off, and it was just completely dead. It turned it off. It was on 0%. So I went to get my other charger, which is probably a little bit better, but then my husband, who's still hasn't left for work because at this point we're listening to this person moving out, and he says, that's weird, my phone didn't charge either. I woke up and mine was on 20%. Now he's on a iPhone, which is less than 2 years old, I think. Yeah, less than 2 years. Yeah. So his hadn't charged overnight in the same room with the same. So it's really weird. So I checked if we'd had a power cut. We hadn't had a power cut. No explanation. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Don't think I can see. It won't let me see. I'm recording on my phone. It won't let me swipe down to see what my battery power is now. So frustrated ain't the word. Anyway, it's really sunny. I'm going to go and drop my parcel off, get my inhalers, get my prescription, and then I'll probably go to Tesco and see what they've got in there. Obviously not going to go to those other shops because they don't like me in there. Yeah, so let's go back to being British, Caucasian Tesco shoppers and not like broadening our horizons. So I'm going to go and see what they've got at Tesco, find myself some nice scran, and then probably get as much of this listed as I can and sort myself out some Lego and get this video on, because it'll be like ridiculously long, won't it? But you know, it is what it is. Okay, so I am back. I have frogs. So Simon's here, Ziggy's here, because obviously I'm setting up now. I'm going to start sorting this Lego because I'm not very motivated today, but I could definitely just sit here and do this. I've done some listing. I've done 5 listings. I went to Tesco and it was rubbish. They didn't have anything in. Well, they didn't even have anything full price that I necessarily wanted to get. I just wanted something nice to eat. And they just didn't have anything. They didn't have any sushi. They just didn't have anything. So I've ended up getting some reduced raspberries. They were still £1.80, just so that I can have them in my gin and tonic later. That's it. I got some filled pasta, which was absolutely tasteless. I have no idea. Why is all the food like so tasteless in the world now? Ugh. So yeah, not impressed with the old Tesco. Not impressed with the bargains. I bought a loaf of bread and I'm just like, why is a loaf of bread £150? £1.50, obviously £1.50, but it feels like £150 because I remember when I first like set out on my own and you could get milk and bread for like 30p, but that's because I'm too old. Right, so the rest of my afternoon is going to be spent sorting this. I've got some good pirate stuff in here. The pirates, and I've got some good stuff in here, and I've got castle stuff in here as well. So this is where the money is, and this is what I need to be getting on with. I mean, admittedly, I've got some very wonderful clothes because I'm cherry picking clothes, but it's photographed. I can go and do a bit of listing when I get like backache here. So I need to just crack on with this because this job needs doing, and I've got other little like small buckets of Lego which need sorting. So that's the rest of my day, and I need to tie up. I need to get this bloody thing on YouTube because it's been, you know, it's getting to a point where I need to get a video out. I need to edit and get this video out. So it is goodbye from me and goodbye from the gang. Oh, come on, let's get on with Lego. And this guy wants to get on with Lego. Why is your trousers falling down, mate? You've been running around. Okay, so yes, it's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from Simon. And yes, thank you for watching. If you feel like subbing, that would be great. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back again soon with probably Lego. And I do have like 25 items of clothing, so I could technically do a haul, but I probably won't do that until I actually feel like photographing. Although I've got the Lego set up here, we've got like a nice clear bit of the room. This is not going to like impinge the room. It's only Tuesday. This will get done quickly. So it's goodbye from me, goodbye from him, goodbye from this one, goodbye.